Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome in. Welcome in. Hello, 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 hello. How are we all doing? How are we all doing? I see Jerry's doing well. Thanks for being here, Jerry. Always great to see you. I'm doing good. I'm doing good too. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. Things are happening. We're making progress. Life is good. Life is good on a Wednesday. How about you, Jerry? How are you? How are you doing today? I'll tell you what we got going on today. It is indeed still second season week, as the title says. We are taking a break from gameplay today, folks. We are not going to be playing. Well, we might play a little bit. We'll see how things go, but fundamentally taking a break from gameplay to focus a little bit more on applying what we've learned so far this week. Hand motions help me communicate to you. So that's the plan. I think this is going to be pretty cool. So basically what I want to do is I think we're just going to hop into Blender, guys. We're going to hop into Blender and start just 3D modeling some stuff. I want to mess around with a board, mess around with the prototype for the board. I think that's going to be cool. And then we could also do some... I'd also like to look at the team cards. Think about how we could reformat those, simplify those. And then just sort of, as we do all of these things, look at it through the lens of how is the game changing? How is the game evolving? I'll tell you, I've been reading a lot of this book called Play Nice. It's the story of Blizzard Entertainment. Many of you will probably be familiar. Blizzard Entertainment, famously the creators of games like World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, Overwatch. What else do they do? I know I'm missing one big one. There's one other big one that they do. I forget though. Anyways, huge video game industry and video game industry player. And this book kind of tells the story of their rise to popularity and then sort of the fall from grace that they've had recently, and then what their path looks like from the. Anyway, it's told from like an outside perspective. It's the author's name is Jason Schreier. He's sort of the foremost industry reporter on all things video game adjacent. So if anybody knows what they're talking about, it's him. And he really does a great job of going in and giving you the full, very well-researched, well-documented story of Blizzard Entertainment. I say this, I bring all this up only to sort of muse that one of the something they talk about a lot in the book is one of Blizzard's core principles is that the way they make games is they look at what's popular, not just what's popular, what's fun, mostly what they're playing, what the Blizzard employees are playing. They'll all get hooked on a game, or at least this is the way it worked in the old days. I think not so much these days. It's gotten a little too corporate for this to be the workflow, but back in the good old days at Blizzard, the way things would work is all the employees would just be hanging out playing video games all day, and then the games that they liked, they would think, okay, how do we perfect this? How do we take this core game concept that's so fun, that we love so much, and polish it until it's, sparkles, and make it so accessible that anybody can play it, anybody can pick up and play it, and then that's the game that they're going to make. And that's the formula that has guided their studio to so much success. And in a lot of ways, I feel like that's the formula that I want to apply to second season. I see this fantastic game that's been played and loved for, so many years now, and I feel like I'm Blizzard. I want to be Blizzard Entertainment in this scenario and take second season and just put that last coat of polish on it that it needs to really shine and be accessible to people outside of just the hardcore sports sim game market. So that's sort of that's been sort of a core idea in my head as I've been both streaming second season week and reading through this Blizzard book. So, anyways, just thought I'd share that. That being said, Brian, what's up, Brian? Hello, hello. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for chatting it up. We've got a fun day ahead of us. Fun day. I've got a new plant too. You guys like the new plant? I need a pot for it, but I like this plant more. The other one was kind of too tall. And this lends sort of a tropical vibe, sort of a beachy vibe, sort of chill, or kind of a chill stream, thanks to this plant behind me. I need to put it in like a, what I would love is like a, I want like a Legend of Zelda style pot to put it in. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? You guys know what I'm talking about when I say Legend of Zelda style pot? Legend of Zelda pot. I want like something like this. Oh, you can't see it. Hold on, let me swap over to the desktop scene. I want something like this. Or maybe this. For this plant behind me. Wouldn't that be nice? I think that'd be a good energy to bring to the streams and just to my space in general. Anyways, new plant, needs a pot. It's coming in soon. Can you have a beachy vibe in Colorado? Yeah, you can. It's possible. It's very possible. Colorado's got sort of like. Listen, I know there's no beaches here. I know we're about as landlocked as it gets. But I feel like the culture. We've got so many Californians here. Everybody from California likes to move to Colorado and raise our housing prices, but there's quite a bit of California going on out here, and I feel like that sort of lends a subtle beachy undertone to, at least culturally, to Colorado. Oh boy, guys. What do you think? Should we just get into it? Fixing to get a nasty ice storm tonight in central Illinois. Ooh, well, stay safe. Stay safe. That sounds like no fun, especially on a Wednesday, going into a Thursday. Now, if this was a Friday night, I'd be like, ooh, bring it on. Bring it on. Give me that bad weather. I would love to just stay inside tomorrow. But on a Wednesday, that's no good. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. All right, guys. Oh, this video is up, by the way. Well, it's going up on my channel right now. Do you want to see the back end of my YouTube studio? You want to see what this looks like on my end? Here's the YouTube studio. Unsurprisingly, stream from yesterday is going way up. Or I guess this is Monday's stream. That's performing quite well by my channel's standards. So I'm excited to see what this next one does. You'll see it's still kind of uploading. So this is 0%. That shouldn't be true. It should be processing. I think whenever you export from Twitch, it does like sort of some funky stuff behind the scenes. But anyways, this is pending. It'll be up soon. And of course, you can watch it here on Twitch too. You can watch the VOD here on Twitch. But I just get the sense that there's a lot of play gamers that are like YouTube only folks, and that makes sense. I'm mostly YouTube only too. But Twitch just works so gosh darn well for streaming. I can't put it behind me. Oh, it's your day off. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a good day, Brian. That is a good day that you've got. Eating spaghetti. Man, I haven't had spaghetti in so long. I should make spaghetti. That sounds pretty delicious. Let's hop into Blender here. What do you say? So, after playing second season over the past couple of days, I have some ideas. I have some thoughts. I have some opinions, even, on what we could do with the second season game board, game book, team cards, extra charts, score sheets, all of it, all of it, all of it could be, I think, could stand to be redesigned. And what's so exciting about this is that since this is getting mass produced, we're no longer confined to just what can we run through a standard printer. So we're talking like full folding boards, right? We can have a slider on the board if we want a slider to mark where the ball is and where the down is. We could do any number of things. The world is our oyster. Um, and so we're here in Blender, we're in 3D space, and I find that this is going to, I feel like this is going to be the best way for me to map out sort of what I have in mind. Well, should we start in Photoshop? So we start 2D and then get 3D with it. Maybe that's a better idea. Let's start in Photoshop. And let's make a nice standard sized canvas here. And my thought is, I don't know how long this board needs to be. I'm imagining it will fold, although as I'm thinking about it, it will probably be hard to execute like a folding board that also has a slider on it. Not quite sure how that will work. It might need to come in 2 pieces maybe, with like a connector in the middle. Or I don't know, there's any number of ways you could do it. Although I guess a 2-piece board would have the same issue with like sliding stuff. I don't know, maybe sliding's not going to happen. Maybe we could do like a peg board, sort of like a cribbage board. That could be an option. Let's get a nice second season green going here. So there's 100 yards. You need 100 like peg holes in this. So we want to see what that's going to look like. I mean, let's maybe grab this color and make it quite a bit darker. And then let's just sort of duplicate this quite a few times. Ultimately 100 times what we want to get to. Maybe that's enough space, you think? Let's rasterize all of these, just so we don't have an insane file size. Sports Sim Magazine! ST! Nice! First time chatter, I see here. Just an opinion, if you do a pegboard, the material needs to be extremely firm. If not, use will wear the holes and the pegs start falling out. Yeah. That's certainly something to consider. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's going to have to be a good good quality material. I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty confident in the factory, the manufacturer that I've been partnering with. They seem like they do good stuff, and so obviously that's something that we will be looking very closely at when we get the samples back from the factory. And I'm not even dead set on a pegboard. This is just like one idea I'm having, sort of spur of the moment here. But yeah, certainly something to consider. So this is 20 pegs. That's 40 pegs. Here's 80 pegs. That's probably about right. And then one more copy will be 100. I'll have to do some scaling here. I just want to see what this looks like, because we could be looking at all these and just start thinking that is just too many. That is not a good look. Any chance of plastic? It snaps well in 2 pieces like a zipper, and the pegs wouldn't wear. Yeah, it could certainly be plastic. Everything's on the table right now. Everything and anything is on the table, and I'm very glad that you're here to give this input. Let me ask you this, ST. If you could design, what would your perfect second season board look like? If you could design it any way that you want it to, what would be the best way for you to track second season stuff? We talked about like a slider, like having a slider on there that you move up and down to denote where the ball is. Um, we could also just do a board, like something like this, like the current second season board. I feel like you want it to be linear though. One of my main not complaints, but the thing that trips me up a lot about this board is I'm constantly having to think about, okay, which way am I going vertically in addition to horizontally? That's can be a little bit of a head scratcher sometimes. So I think, if we can have it all in one solid continuous line, that would be good. But I could see doing something like cubes, like those little tiny plastic game cubes that you get sometimes. And I mean, that would look something like this probably. And then have the board just be like, lowered at some parts. So that each of the cubes is like a little inset into the board that you can place a cube into and use that to track. Could be another way of doing it. Let's round these corners a little bit, just so we can see something like that, Someone who loves second season, you like the slider over pegs, horizontal board, but I like having a play call chart on the board. It's the one thing you reference most. Okay, so that's interesting that you bring that up. One of the things that I was considering, so play call chart. I assume you mean the like solitaire offense and defense settings. These guys right in here. Because the one thing Keith and I were talking about was that you could potentially take those off of the boards and put them on the team cards, so that each team, instead of having like a tendency, they just have like their own customized offense and defense settings, like on the team card. Could be cool. I would give you a little more granularity with designing how specific teams react to different play calls. But that's just one idea. Yeah, like I said, everything's on the table right now. This is 100 pegs. I don't hate this, but as ST's pointing out, it doesn't have to be. Pegs is probably not the ideal way to do this. Probably not ideal. Maybe a slider is not the worst. Maybe a slider is very possible, actually. Be 100% in favor of that. Anything that dials in on the stats of each team players even more, something you're all for. Okay, cool. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, so this might be a weird thing to start considering at this point, but let's talk about like box size. What is a good box size for a second season game? So a thought of it, you got to fit the game book in there, and you have to fit the board in there. Everything else should be like pretty easy to fit inside of a box, but the game book and board are the two pieces that we're mainly designing around. If we want to stick with the same sized game book, which I would maybe like to increase the size of this a little bit. I don't think we want to go like full XL size necessarily, but I think something in between. There's something about this size that just like it fits well in your hand. It doesn't take up too much space on the table. It looks good when it's open like that. The format is a nice size, both when it's open and shut. So I do like that size game book. I would maybe consider making it more square. Right now it's just like slightly. What is the size on this? I think it's 5.5 by 7. Because because it's cut from legal size paper, which is 8.5 by. No, that's not right. It's 8.5 this way, 7 this way, 8.5 by 7. That's right. That's what it is. So you could maybe just do like 8.5 by 8.5. Oh no, go for it. Go for it, SD. No worries. Feel free to chat as much as you want. Are we considering any mechanical changes, such as extending the O2 ratings to a wider gap, the 0 to 2 ratings to a wider gap? Or are all mechanics remaining the same and this is just physical change? Just curious. Yeah, absolutely. No, mechanically, I want it to stay as similar to current second season as it can, for a couple reasons. First of all, overhauling the game mechanics is going to be significantly more work, and it's going to require a lot of play testing. And while maybe there are some improvements that could, hypothetically be made to second season, I feel like the longevity of the game so far is the track record sort of speaks for itself. And I would hate to, when you go in there and start making changes, you also run the risk of making bad changes. So I feel like with considering the reputation that the game has currently, I think it's probably better to not make big mechanical changes and mostly just translate what's already there to, an upgraded physical presentation. That being said, we are exploring ways to sort of streamline what's already there, to reorganize what's already there. But like mechanically, the mechanics of the game, I don't think we're going to touch at all. There might be a few small things that we change, mostly for streamlining sake. But yeah, I hope that's a good answer to your question there. Folded slide football field has been done before. As a board, it would have worked well, except that the field itself is not designed well for use. What game is that? Do you happen to know what game that was? I'd love to take a look at it and pull up some images for reference. FYI, most cube bookshelves have openings that are 12 inches, so if it's larger than 12 inches and it can't stand on most bookshelves. Okay, cool. Good to know. Definitely something worth considering. Zach is a proud cube bookshelf owner. I think I've got one right behind me here, actually. You guys can see. Cube bookshelf. Maybe you can't see quite so well. Anyways, it is a cube bookshelf. Classic IKEA Kallax. Board game collector's best friend. Just one shelf? You have 4. Wow. Way to flex, Brian. 4 game shelves. Yeah, they add up quick, huh? They add up pretty quick. I've got most of my board games on like a it's not a cube shelf, it's like a bookshelf kind of, which I really should move them over to a cube shelf. That definitely would fit the collection better, but it's just what I've been using all along, so I figure we'll stick with it. Appa has had the sliding football field. Okay, let's look at the Appa football field. APBA football game. Images. What are we looking at here? Oh, I see. It's got like sort of a hole in the middle of it, and then this is the thing that you slide up and down the field to mark. Okay. Okay, got it. Appa 2000 football game. Worked decently well over the years, though. They've used cheaper materials, so there's that. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Okay, it's time to get into Blender. Let me just model out real quickly what I feel like, what my idea would be for a sliding football board. It's a mass-produced game in 2000. Okay. Got it. Let's see. It's been a while since I have been in Blender. Nope, not what I want to do. What's the... Okay, G is to move. Except I don't want to use this to move it. I want to pull up. Don't mind me very quickly refamiliarizing myself with the Blender controls. There it is, spacebar. Spacebar G, okay. And we'll go like that. And squash this down. It's a good board thickness, something like that. You know what has this? Let me get this out real quick for a reference, just so we can see what we're talking about. Happy Wednesday, says Coach Cast. Thank you, thank you. It is a happy Wednesday indeed, isn't it? Very Tiny Zach received APA 2000 game as a wee lad and was mostly just confused. See, Zach, that's what we're trying to avoid here. We want to avoid confusion. We want the wee lads to be playing this, to be playing second season for many years to come. And so that's sort of what the streamlining initiative is all about. Yeah, we'll see. There's a balance to everything, right? We don't want it to be... We want to streamline as much as we can while taking away as little depth as we can. Ideally, no depth gets lost. Yeah. Anyways, here's Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle-earth. Unopened. I'm going to crack it open right now. I have not played it yet. Well, I haven't played this copy of it yet, which I received for Christmas this year. How nice. But it's got a board in it that... it's not really a board. It's like a track. That's almost, I think, identical to what I'm trying to describe here. So let me just kind of show you what I'm thinking about. Where is it? I know you're in here. I know you're in here. Here it is, this guy. Now, are there two pieces to this? Or is it just the one? I think it's just the one. You see this? This is clear, but it's got sort of this. Here, I'll swap over to the face cam real quick so you guys can see. Here's the face cam. You see how it's got like this little track in it? That this piece just like slides into. I think it slides in there. Maybe it just rests on top. Yeah, I guess it just rests on top actually. Anyways, then you can slide this around. That's kind of what I have in mind for this board. So let me show you sort of what that would look like in 3D. Not table scene, desktop scene. So we extend it out quite a bit. And this is where, you know, maybe we need two pieces for this board. It kind of goes like this. Let's model the groove real quick. What's this thing? No. Tab? No. This button. What's the button to bind on my short? Yeah, there we go. We want to edit faces. And there's a shortcut for edge loops. E? Nice, yeah. Oh no, that's extrude. Never mind. G? No, that's move. Is it K? It's K. A K is knife. What if we just extrude faces? Sorry, this has got to be the most boring thing in the world. Watch me figure out Blender. We're gonna get going with this real quickly. Is it Control E? Is it Control something? Control R, that's what it is. Perfect. That's what we want. Okay, so Control R right there. And then Control B should be bevel. No? Do we not have... Oh, we click. Okay. Bevel it out so that these sides come to like right there. And then these get extruded up a little bit. And then move these. It's actually probably good where it is. Extrude these kind of inwards a little bit. Maybe something like that. Okay, so this is the shape that we end up with. And you'll need 2 pieces on this board. Maybe you do it just exactly like the Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle-earth thing is, where it's just like a little plastic. Doesn't even have to be plastic necessarily. You could probably just use like a cardboard punch-out for this. But let's model this out real quick. So it's going to be narrow enough to just kind of fit inside of this groove here. And then obviously you don't need the whole thing, but if this is yeah, you don't even need the plastic actually. You could just have like a picture of a football on here. Let's see, can I make this real quick? I don't want to have to texture anything. You could just shade some faces. I'm going to really quickly get a picture of a football on this thing. Very rudimentary football. Okay. Why are these not equidistant? Oh, because the shape is not. What? It's bizarre. Should be. Oh, I see what's going on here. I've got the wrong thing selected. I want these vertexes and these vertexes. Got it, got it, got it. Bring that in. You know what, we could even probably merge those. Yeah, that's fine. Just like that. And let's go into our, well, first let's look at shaded view. Viewport shading. Let's go into our shading tab. Faces. So we're going to select all of these. Make a new shader. Call it brown. Make the color brown. Oh shoot, it's only one of those faces. I know there's a way to do just the faces. Make those faces brown and then make these faces green. Duplicate that. Is that the wrong button? Plus green. The color green. Oh, I see. Wrong material. Add a new material. Call this green. Maybe somewhere in there. Okay, let me Google real quick how to make how to texture individual faces in Blender. 1 second. One moment. Apply shader to individual faces. To apply shaders to individual faces in Blender, you can select the faces, then choose a material from materials. You can also add multiple materials to different faces of an object. Create or select material, then the material, click the material assigned to the selected faces. Yeah, it's what I'm doing, but it's not working. Let's watch the video maybe.
Life's better when your dreams
Oh,
are
yeah.
protected under our roof.
Thanks,
Good
all.
to see everything's
Nice
show me my
contrast in
video,
green.
please.
I'll jump into the render viewport and we get something like this. So I'll press 3 to select the face and I'm going to select this face. The next thing I'm going to do is add in a new material. So I come to the plus sign, hit new, and let's make it a contrasting colour. Let's make it something like blue. And let's hit assign here. Now just to give you an example, let's say
Where's this menu that he's using? Layout. He's in this tab. Oh, okay, I see. Maybe I just need to make it on a per object basis. That would be pretty annoying. Sorry, guys. I know we've drifted so far away from the actual game design philosophy stuff that we were talking about earlier, which is probably a lot more interesting. But this is kind of an important part of the process. Oh, wait, no. Change this to brown. Oh, okay, here we go. There, perfect. There's our beautiful, beautiful football icon. And this would also like have an arrow pointing, which way it's going. And then this field would be green. You kind of lose the sense that there's a piece there. You need to show edges. I know there's a way to do that. Whatever. So you get the idea. Origin to geometry. And this is just going to kind of like move up and down the field. And this field will have like markers on it for the different yard. I mean, it'll look just like a real football field. Just like a real football field. And then you're probably going to need 2 of these. So what you're going to do is say like Shift D, move this over, and let's go back into regular shading for now. This, Control R, and then boom. Oops, no. Something like that, and then I'm probably going to go like this. And let's say these are going to get scaled in a little bit. Maybe these get scaled out a little bit. So you get something that looks like that. And then kind of the opposite thing going on this side. You do get some chat coming in. Have to leave, but like the slide idea, maybe you could look at an old slide rule and see how the clear piece with a center line on it would slide across. Yeah, definitely could look at that. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, if you want to catch the rest of it later, it'll be up on the YouTube channel where you can watch the VOD here on Twitch as well. But yeah, take it easy. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. The slide rule is a good example because you will need to have 2 markers moving across the board to represent the line of scrimmage and the first down marker. Yes, the line of scrimmage, or the first down marker is also going to be, I imagine, just like a separate one of these things that also moves down, probably with the arrow pointing like the opposite way, and so you're just going to kind of set it where the first down is, and then this piece moves closer to it this way, or if you're going down the field this way, moves closer to it that way. Yeah, but that is definitely an important component. Kind of delete these faces and then go in and fill in the edges afterwards. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but my Blender skills are a little rusty. Delete faces and then edges. Can you press F? No, you cannot. Maybe we need to go like this, not that, this. F? There we go, that's a little better. And bring the knife in. K. K for knife. Connect that to that. And do the same thing over here. F. F. K. All right, nice. So now we can grab, say, these edges. I'll start with these edges. I think these, keep grabbing the wrong one. Not that. Give me this. I think those and those got scaled the same way. So we just kind of go like that. And then take this, scale those out until we get a nice form-fitting piece there. So, two-piece board. These just kind of snap together like so. And then you've got this piece. And we'll turn shading back on for this. And then another one. Imagine there's like a, what would even be a good symbol for a first down marker? They got like the little yellow, they're not cones, but you know what I'm talking about, that they put on the side of the field. Is that, am I making that up, or is that how football works? You guys will have to let me know. Yeah, so you're just kind of like, first down is, this is the first down marker. You're going this way down the field. And it's like somewhere right here. And of course, there's like going to be white lines all up and down this. It'll look just like a real football field. So you just set the first down marker where, on the exact yard line that it's supposed to go on. And then as you move down closer to the field, the football will have like a little arrow marker on it this way, indicating that you're like going this way down the field, and like the yard line that it's lined up with this way is what is the yard line that you're at. So you keep moving this down the field. And then when you need to swap, when the other teams swap sides, all you do is just slide these out of here and then rotate them. Rotate them 180 degrees exactly. And then you start moving them this way. So yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a pretty good system. The only question marks in my head are, okay, what are the manufacturing costs going to be on a two-piece board like this? Because you do need it to kind of be a good material to fit well. And I mean, this Lord of the Rings game sells for, I think, like $40. I'm actually not entirely sure. Like I said, it was a gift, but I would imagine this would be like a $40 game, maybe $30-40. And so if they've got a component like this in there, then probably we can afford to have a component like this in second season. Now, anyway, that's one thought. So that's kind of where I'm thinking with the board. It's kind of the direction I'm thinking in with the board. Wait. Pop on over to Twitch real quick. Just to check on something. Make sure this is showing up correctly on screen. Oh yeah, nice. That looks good. Okay, what were we doing? Here's OBS. Sorry, I gotta rearrange everything now. Got way too much going on my screen. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking for the game board. Is there anything else on this game board? Oh yeah, we need a mark down still. We need a down marker. So, I mean, you could do something like, oh man, you could also use this to track time, which I think would be helpful. You could have like a timer attached to this as well. So if we're just dreaming here, if we're just thinking about what's the best game we could make, what's the best way we could do this? Then probably do it this way. Just kind of extrude all of this out. So you've got like a little interface over here in front of the actual field itself. Actually, probably it's not the whole, probably not all of that gets extruded. Probably it's just actually like the bottom row here. Something like this, probably. And then this you could use to have like a timer here and a down marker over here. Like I said, the manufacturing costs are, you know, something to keep in mind with this. But I mean, come on, how cool would that be? And I do kind of feel like a peg would work best for this. How hard is it going to be to put like a billion holes in the middle of this geometry? Probably pretty tough. Probably pretty tough. What if we just booleaned them out? Let's get a cylinder in here. And let's make it a nice 16 round cylinder. Actually, 8's going to be fine. 8 is fine for what we're doing here. Drop the size of this down a little bit. And take the face, bring this down so it sits somewhere like there maybe. And then, oh, I see what's going on. I gotta drag this down even more. So it sits inside of the board. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. Take the face and be like right there. Bring it out a little bit. Something like that. Maybe a little bit more. So we got this nice peg piece now. And there's 30 strokes that you make in each. When you're tracking on a score sheet, you make 30 strokes per quarter. And the strokes are organized into like 4 boxes. So there's 6 boxes. 6 boxes, and there's 5 in each box. You could probably do the same thing here. Have it organized into 3 rows. And do like boxes of 5. We'll see what that looks like real quick. Got a couple more. Oh, 2 sets of rails on it. Oh, that's not a bad idea. That's actually a pretty good idea. I wish I'd read that comment sooner before I spent all this time modeling that out. Yeah, but yeah, we could definitely do 2 sets of rows. Definitely. Let's see. Have 2 sets of rules on it. The rule could be the football field. 1 slide for the first down, the other for the ball. Gotta go, but this is actually fun to watch. Yeah, nice. Thanks. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad you were enjoying it. Sounds like you're out of here now, but could you have a first down marker on both sides, so you don't have to take it out and switch it around? Probably. I think it's not going to be that hard to take out and switch around, though. But I mean, yeah, definitely you could do that. That's something we could think about. I'm intrigued by the slides on both sides now, though. So let's yeah, let's look at that. Let's think about doing that. So what do we need to do here? We need to edit. Go into edit mode. If not, yes, the ball and the first down marker will bang into one another when you're 1 yard from the first down. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll have to see it in action here. Let me get this modeled out, and then we'll kind of look at the whole thing as one big piece. Oops, no. What? Control R. Control R. Move these kind of over here. Grab the faces. Extrude those up to right there. And then Control R there. And then we want to go face again. Grab all these faces now. Bring those out a little bit. Oops, gotta extrude them, that's right. Something like that. Here, let's actually do it all at the same time. This. I see the big long comment. I'm going to read it in just a second. I'll get this finished first. E. Okay. There we go. All right. The issue with the APA slider is that it's not precise per se because the ball is an oval. You could have to use the very end of the ball or something to make sure you know exactly where which yard line you're on. Maybe the ball should have a line on it to show the precise location, assuming the ball itself will be a yard or so wide. Yeah, so I mean, my thought was that just like this piece, this rectangular piece, one edge of it has like an arrow pointing to the edge, and that edge of that piece is which yard you're on. That indicates which yard you're on. So this is a flat edge. I see what you're saying about the APO one being imprecise because you have to know like which part of the ball you're using to measure. But I feel like with this, it's just a flat edge lining up against flat yardage lines. It should be pretty clear where the ball is. Even if the ball, maybe what you're saying is that the ball itself, like the ball icon, needs to be exactly on the yard line. If that's the case, then yeah, I don't know exactly how to resolve that. Except that maybe the arrow could be here, like sort of at the bottom, and the yard numbers could be sort of along the bottom of this piece. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Either way, there's a number of ways you could do it, but I will say I'm pretty excited about this like double slider board that we've come up with now. Let me get some pieces in here, and we'll start kind of looking at this all put together. Oops, not a plane. Grab a cube. Don't have a resolution, that's why you're the designer today. I don't think I make the random comments. Yeah. No, it's all good. All good. I mean, yes. That is stuff we need to think about, and that will certainly be taken into account at some point. At some point, a decision will be made about that. But I don't think this is the point at which the decision will be made. Right now, we're just kind of playing around. We might not even go with this. We might not even do the this specific board design. We are totally just spitballing here. And while I do like the direction this is headed in, again, I keep coming back to I will have to take this to the manufacturer and see, one, if this is something they can even do, and two, what the cost is going to be like to set up a component like this. I would imagine probably pretty significant. But I mean, come on, how cool is that? This is a cool looking board we've got going here. Quite the component. Pretty impressive. So you could have like a thing here that marks the time, and you could have a thing on this side that marks the down, or vice versa. It doesn't matter where each one goes. But basically, you'd have two additional sliders on this part of the board, on this track, that would show you, which down you're on. It'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this would be the timer, and it would go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up to 30. 30 strokes, or 30 plays, or 30 whatever, however you want to label it. So that's pretty cool. Okay. Okay. What else do we want to look at today? Could get into team cards now. Could start looking at team cards. One thought that Keith and I were kind of throwing around when we last talked about how these team cards might look redesigned is that if we want to fit a little more information on there and make the information that's already on there a little bit larger, we could always enlarge the team cards slightly. They don't have to be this size specifically. So that's something. I do like sort of line, at least when I'm playing the game, I like having the team cards lined up this way, horizontally, underneath the board. I know some people go vertically, especially if you're used to the old team sheet format. And I could be convinced to go vertically instead of horizontally. But I do think it's important to kind of figure out what the ideal layout is for a game like this, and then sort of design around that so that everything comes out looking, nice and well put together. But just to get some ideas on the table, Shift A, mesh, just grab a plane, and what kind of units are we in right now? This one? Where's the units box? Units, here we go. Let's go imperial. Length in inches. And then let's go, we want to view, we need to get into edit mode. I want to view, where's the option I'm looking for? Somewhere in here, it's this one, somewhere in here. Edge length, there we go. Oh gosh, this is huge right now. 78 inches. What is the size of this monster board we've been building? Oh my gosh. Let's maybe take a second to kind of scale all this down, make it to scale. Go into edit mode, show us the total edge length. So this is 183 inches. We need to scale it down so that it's like, what would be a good size? I mean, right now the board is 8.5 wide. I feel like we're going to need it to be a bit wider. So what, like 12 inches maybe? That would put us like right there. You can't see this, but I'm sorry, this is 11. It's 11 wide. What am I saying? It's 11 inches wide. Here, I've got a tape measure. Let me go get my tape measure real quick. So probably we want more like 14 inches actually. It seems like that would be a good length for a board. 16 maybe? Keeping in mind that, whatever length we make this board, that means that the box is going to have to be at least that wide. And then probably a little bit more. So if we make or at least half of that wide, as I should say. So if we make it 16 inches wide, the box is probably going to need to be like 9 or 10 inches wide. It doesn't seem unreasonable. So let's maybe think in that direction. Let's also think about how long this is. An easier way to do this would be to go into object mode, make a new cube. Make this the size that we want the thing to be. So we're looking like maybe 16 inches. And then if it's 16 inches wide, we want it to be probably like let's drop this thickness down. Shouldn't be more than an inch thick. An inch thick would be crazy. Probably even going half an inch. Let's get it right on the money. Half an inch. And then, you know, this could be maybe 6 inches. 6 by 16? What does that look like? Looks like that. I guess this is not going to be nearly 6 inches. Yeah, let's make it like maybe 5. Let's drop it down to 5 inches. I'm also starting to think that like maybe this is something I should do off stream. I realize that it's probably not the most interesting thing for me to go back and forth about like board measurements. Let's put this up to 18. 18 wide. 18 by 5. That seems like a good board size, wouldn't you guys say? Face, Shift A. Oh, wait, no, we just want these objects, not that object. Edit A, select everything. Scale it down. Scale it on down. Oh, shoot, why is this, object mode? Huh. I don't know why this keeps getting grabbed when I go into edit mode over here. Wireframe. Selected that way. Oh yeah, look how close I got. Almost right on the money. Not that this needs to be exact. I don't know why I don't know why I'm spending so much time on this. It's just kind of satisfying for me. Oh yeah. Look at those dimensions. I mean, that's... No, I guess it's not perfect, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close, guys. It's pretty close. So, yeah. I know how shapes work. Okay. Now, we can super zoom in here. Make this a proper size. Everything seems so small now, but we're going to zoom in and it's not going to seem small anymore. So right now, team cards are 5.5 by 8.5. So they look like this. And so if you had 2 of these on the table, let's get this nice and flat and right up against the game board there. So if you had 2 of these on the table, it would look something like this. You know, not bad. Not a bad looking setup. You need your game book, which I don't know that I really want to take the time to model that right now, but you can imagine what it would look like. And yeah, you have your dice. You'd have, I mean, yeah. Let's maybe take some time and go look at what these team cards could be. Let's hop into InDesign real quick. And go see maybe what kind of streamlining we could do with these team cards. So, real quick, let me show you some examples of what we're working from. So, obviously, this is Football America. This is San Diego. It's the team I was playing with yesterday and the day before. From what I understand, this is a pretty standard team card design for second season. About the same amount of information on the card as like a pro team. And then we have these cards. Here, I'm going to get ones that I haven't written on. These cards that are from the, I think this is just a free download from 2022 Super Bowl. Obviously quite a bit more simplified. Probably too simplified. But, you know, you contrast this against this. I feel like there's a balance to be struck somewhere in the middle. And that balance might be, as we go back to the desktop scene, might be, let me navigate to the play game site real quick. So I can show you. Let's go to shop. This. Do we have sample team cards here? No, we actually don't. Dang. Oh, I bet there's a sample PDF though. Yeah, sample team cards. There we go. So this is the 1959 College Bowl, 1960 College Bowl binge. This is a nice design. I like this design quite a bit. It does kind of, I feel like this is in the middle of the 2 designs that I just showed you, where you've got not quite so much info as the standard second season stuff, but also it's more detailed and more fleshed out than something like this. So, let's use this as a starting point, shall we? Why don't we use this as a starting point? So another thing is that in arrangements like this, on team cards like this, Keith has not put in any of the the position box names. So like, how do I explain this? What am I trying to say? On the official, on the standard design for full play, the boxes are named things like TA, GA, CE, GB, TB, EA, QB, which I think some of them stand for actual positions in football, and then some of them are just like one letter stands for the position, and then the next one's like A, B, C, D to denote, you know, there's 3 of these guys, it's ABC. I feel like that could probably be simplified for this new version that we're working on. Not simplified, but what am I, better expressed. We could express that in a better, more intuitive way. So, anyways, these boxes do not have, these team sheets do not have like the box names that those team sheets do. So we will need to put those somewhere on there, because that's, obviously you need that to do full play. So, or I guess you don't need it. I was trying to play these teams full play the other day, and Brian was helping me. I guess he just kind of knew off the top of his head what each of the positions, which box that would be in. And so he was able to just figure out with his own football knowledge which box would be being called on for each specific play. Which, it's great if you know football like that. I don't know football like that, and I don't think knowing football like that should be a prerequisite for playing this game. So yeah, so let's find a better way to do it. Let's go. Let's go inches. Let's look at like 8.5 wide. Let's just start with 8.5 by 5.5. As a good base reference point. Okay, so first thing to point out is that these cards are going to be full bleed, so that gives us a little more room to work with than what we traditionally do. For those of you that don't know, full bleed just means we can print all the way to the edge of the edge of the paper. Whereas with this, you see obviously we got that like white margin that has to be there. It's not just a stylistic choice. The printers that we're using can't go all the no printer can go all the way up to the edge of the page, but the mass-produced cards are going to get cut after the printing happens. So these white margins are trimmed. Theoretically, it's something that play games could do too, but we've already got all the design files in place, and so it's like, why would we go in and mess with that now? But for a mass-produced version, that is something we want to go in and mess with. So let's just like start mocking up a quick rough and dirty template here. Let's get a box. Let's put some text in it. Choose a cool font. I've really been liking anybody. Anybody black is probably good. A little bit of like 24 point. And this will just say team name. And while we can print the cards full bleed, it is still like kind of a best practice to leave about a 1/4 inch margin around as like a safe area. So there will be printing that goes all the way up to the edge of the page, but you don't want any like important text within this 1/4 inch edge of the page. So we put like the team name there. I'm thinking that could probably end up being a little bit bigger, but for now it's fine. And let's start blocking out some boxes. So do all the teams, I think not all of the teams have the same arrangement of boxes, which is a little infuriating for my design eye. But if it's a necessary evil, it's a necessary evil. Let's just quickly look through. Here, why don't I take us over to the... Whoa, cheap viewers. Whoa, hey, I need that. I need those cheap viewers. Let's hit this guy with a quick ban. Ban. Get banned. Get absolutely banned. Oh boy, it's been a while since we've seen one of those. I thought maybe we were free of them, but turns out no. Let's head over to the table scene for a quick second so I can kind of show you what I'm looking at here. Gosh, this thing is a mess. We got so much stuff going on here. Okay, good enough. So offense, it looks like all the teams have about the same arrangement of offense boxes. The defense boxes are sometimes different. So like that's a different arrangement than this is. They should always have the same letters though, right? It's always A through K. These are the X League teams. Start looking at the real teams. Yeah, it looks like it's always A through K, and it's always one of these two arrangements. Okay, so that's not as bad as I was thinking it is. Maybe if anybody in chat knows if there's ever any other arrangements that happen on like pro teams that I would need to be aware of. Honestly, since I think we're just gonna stick with fictional for the mass-produced stuff, anyways, I'm kind of not too worried about it because all this fictional stuff has one of two arrangements, and I think probably we could trim it back to just the one arrangement and not lose out on much. But yeah, maybe one of you guys knows if that's ever like something that gets swapped up a lot for pro representation. So let's look at let's go back to this. Let's look at offense, and we've got 5 boxes across the top. 3 boxes in the middle, and then 3 boxes below that. Up. Now I'm looking at these, and I'm wondering. Could you go vertical? Could you go like, I mean, I know this is totally different than the way second season has ever done it before. It's totally different than the way that second season has always done it. But just bear with me here for a second. TA. We go like TA, and then all of these guys only have 2 ratings associated with them. So you could pretty easily just like have one box that contains all of that. And what's a good font for text like this? Oh, you could stick with anybody. Use like bold, maybe. Two, one. Terrell Strange. Let's change this to been liking. Oh, Mago looks kind of cool. Let's maybe look at a font called Free Fat Font. I also like quite a bit. Yeah, I think that's nice actually. And we can bump the size on that up a little bit too. Make this like 36 maybe. Cool. Why don't we just, no reason not to bump this up against the, right up against the edge there. Also no reason not to bump that right up against that. At least while we're distributing these. So we need 5 of these. There's 4. It goes TA, GA, CE, GB, TB. And obviously these guys aren't all going to be Jarrell Strange, but we'll why not? We've got time, right? So 2 and a 1 minus. And the guy's name is Hoyt Condi. And then we got a 1 plus, a 1 for our CE, whose name is Will Shorter. And we've got a 1-1, Zach Hess as our GB. And then we've got, finally, a 2-0 plus. And his name is Randon Woodsma. Okay, cool. Cool. All right. That's a good place to start. And then we can go, probably quarterback should be right up top. That's the guy you're going to look at the most. He's got the most ratings associated with him. And then we can do like SB, FB, EB. Let's see. SB and FB have inside and outside run ratings in addition to R ratings. EA, EC, and EB. E, A, B, and C. See, okay. Let's go back to the face cam for a second so I can show you guys something. Can anybody tell me why? I know this isn't focused super well, but why it goes EA over here, and then it's EC over here, and then EB is right here. It seems to me like it should go A, B, C. Am I missing something? Or is that just, you know, how it's always been and how it always will be? That's how I'm going to make it on this card, at least. And we'll see where that ends up getting us. I could also see putting the ratings on a separate line, maybe. Maybe. Let's get back in here. Oh, hold on. We got a comment. Like I said yesterday, EC is generally the tight end who lines up on the line of scrimmage. So to replicate that player being on the line, it is closest to the rest of the line members. And EA and EB would be the out wide receivers. Okay. So the arrangement here is supposed to replicate like the way that the players would arrange on a football field. That's what we're saying. I guess that makes sense. Except, you know, it still doesn't really look exactly like that. And maybe it's worth abstracting. Yeah, I don't know what to prioritize. Whether it's better to prioritize having like an abstract representation of where the players would be on the field to make it, I guess, more visual. Or if it's better to organize the data in a way that, for my eyes at least, to be able to see it more clearly and find what I'm looking for. I don't know which is better. That's kind of the design that I'm putting together right here, is a design that's going to work well for my eyes. So let's get to the end of it and see what we all think about, you know, about how this stacks up. So let's copy paste this again. This could be QB. And QB is going to have some additional ratings. Does anybody else have any of these ratings? I don't think so. Nobody else is rated for X, Y, or Q. So he kind of needs to be in his own zone almost. What if we put the quarterback down here? For now. And then what if we copy these over? And you make this like EB, EA, EB, EC. Let me copy it over one more time. You make this SB and FB. Okay, so the E players all just have ratings and then also an R rating. So let's represent that like this. Dinner time, gotta bounce. Take care. Nice. Enjoy dinner, Brian. I'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you being here. Let's make this anybody ultra expanded black. I could center it. That's fine. And then our ratings can go right here. So, I mean, some of these get kind of long. This guy has 13, 3 asterisks. And then bracket, exclamation point, bracket. Which is pretty elaborate, but, you know, whatever. Can also center these. And then we'll just copy and paste this down. And while we're looking at it, let's go ahead and bring in all of these numbers. So we've got 13, and then we got a 10 with 2 asterisks, and then we've got a 12 with 1 asterisk. These are just the starters, by the way. You could obviously have the backups listed below these, but we're not going to do that right now. Part of me is thinking, like, how much do you even really need the backups, especially for a fictional league? Could we maybe abstract that out to like a finder column that says these are like the relief players that can come in um, and fill in if your players get injured, and these are their ratings, and have those somewhere else on the card instead of like on this card. Man, we'll go back to the face cam for one more second so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. On this card, hopefully you can see it. A lot of the same players are just kind of copy and pasted across these boxes, and what I take that to represent is there's like these reserve players who aren't really necessarily assigned to any one position. They just kind of come in when they're needed and fill in whatever they're needed to fill in. So yeah, I think instead of having those multiple times across the card, you could probably just have them like in a corner, and then you use them when you need them. Okay, so that's how those are going to work. And then let's copy this ratings box over to here. And these two players are going to need R grades. They need in, out, and R. So that is probably actually going to be too much stuff to fit here. So what if we go like this? So what if we go like this? Copy, delete, paste, return, paste. These will all pop up here in just a second. Copy, delete, delete, return, paste, copy, delete, return, paste, copy, delete, return, paste. And then we go into each of these and make them all 12 point. Oh. 12 point. What? Why is it only select? Oh, I guess you gotta hit shift. It's shift in InDesign, not control. Okay. And then the point of all this is that we can then take these boxes and bring them in quite a bit. Maybe to there. So now all this stuff can get brought over. And we're making room for these guys over here. Here, for these purposes, let's just grab these again. And do the same thing here. Okay, now we've got room to play with. Now we can take this box, copy and paste it over several times. This could be in, out, and R. Let's take in the kerning on these just a little bit. That's too much. That's good. Okay, so what are their ratings actually? SB is C. Triple A. Or double A, rather. And 13 with 1 asterisk. And then FB is A bracket exclamation point. B bracket exclamation point. And 7. Okay. Starting to look pretty cool. And the quarterback will look like this. I'll take these. Actually, I don't need all of them, just need one row. Are they slightly off center? They are. So he needs different grades, actually. He needs 5 of them. CMP. Can make these all a little bit wider here in just a second. X, Y, Q, OU. This guy's got quadruple A, bracket exclamation point. And then 4 for his X, 2 for his Y, 11 for his Q, and E for his OU. Yeah, okay? I guess you also need the place kicker and the punter rated on here. So we could just kind of grab these. Now let's grab these because they're going to need quite a few ratings each. We'll just kind of center it here. PK. It needs an XP, FG, LFG, and also a KO. Ah, come on. I don't know why I'm so OCD about this, but it needs to be exact. XP's got an A. This is AAA. This is 55 plus 55. And then C in brackets. And this is A. And then this is obviously not rated for pass and run plays. Nor is this guy. PK and PU. Guess we'll put their names in there. This guy actually has different ratings. His ratings are called AVG, RET, COF, and BLK. He's got 48, C, A, and A. I guess there's no reason that you couldn't put everybody's grades like right above their number, right? Might look nice. It would be a nice touch. Just lining these up, folks. Just lining them up so I don't lose my mind. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty nice. I don't know, is this better? No, I realized that my camera's actually in the way here. Let me move my camera to the other side of the screen so you can see this a little bit better. Again, obviously no graphics or anything added yet. No flare, no nothing. Just a thought so far. I don't know. So much of this depends on like what aesthetic style I end up going with for the game as a whole. That'll kind of determine how I want to lay out these cards, I think. So that would probably be something, that would probably be a good thing to work on next. I don't know if I really have the time this stream to go in and work on it. Probably for the next time we stream, I will put together like sort of a Pinterest board of inspiration, and maybe I'll have done some work. Maybe I'll do some work tonight or tomorrow afternoon. Just sort of mocking up like a first draft of what the cover could potentially look like. Rendered in some different box sizes as well. Kind of taking into account all of the stuff that we put together today. Yeah. Yeah, I guess the one thing these cards still need are the finder columns, which could go like over here. You could say like oh, what is this? The ball on the APA has an arrow that pointed to the yard line it was on. We didn't use the tip of the ball. Also, I forgot to mention there's a football game I got in 1954 that used metal pegs. The first down marker was metal in the shape of a triangle with the one side missing. If that makes sense to anyone. I'll tell you, it doesn't make that much sense to me, but I appreciate the input. Yeah, I think we're probably over the pegs idea. I think we're probably putting that one on the back burner for a little bit until we decide that that the slides aren't going to work. I gotta say, I like the slides. I like the slides quite a bit. Just to pop back over to Blender for a second, I do like the slides quite a bit. I mean, this just feels like it's going to have a great table presence. It's like a fun, unique component. Sorry, I keep pressing the wrong button to toggle through my view here. Yeah, I don't know. This is definitely the winner for me so far. But doesn't mean that's ultimately what it will, end up being. Let's scoot this back just a little bit. All right. Let's hop back into InDesign. Let's do these finder columns and then maybe look at how we could add some color to this card. Again, the color is going to be such a it's going to get tied in so much to the aesthetics of the game overall that I don't I hesitate to work too much on it right now, but we'll do a little bit of work here. It does look good. The pics were in 1954, 71 years ago. Wow, 1954 is 71 years ago. That is quite a long time. And the slide design I'm seeing looks much better. Cool. All right. What's it? Oh, finder columns. Your 8th birthday. Oh, fond memories, I'm sure. Fond memories. Let's copy this. Put that here. Call this inside. Bring it down just a little bit. Copy this. And this font is going to have to get pretty small, I'm afraid. But what can be done about it? Let's drop it down to like maybe size 8 font. And we'll just do a couple of these. Hubbard 1 to 6. Boomer 7 to 11. Robinson 12 to 18. And Hampton 19 to 20. So maybe give this just a little more room. And we can copy and paste that over. So that's 4 players. Some of these have a lot more. We'll give it space for 5. Yeah, that's good. Hubbard, 1 to 6. Hampton, 7 to 12. Boomer, 13 to 16. Robinson, 17 to 19. And Holcomb, 20. And then let's do one more over here. That's run finders. Now let's do pass finders. You get a little breathing room. Looks good. This is SC, SH. Let's see backslashes. I'm going to have to decrease the width quite a bit here. And this is a long list. But just to show you what it looked like. What is this name? Oh, there you go. Take it off? Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you being here. Glad you enjoyed the stream. Maybe I'll see you again tomorrow. Okay, and then this will be long. There's only a couple guys that get the long pass. Okay. And that's it. That's all we got. That's all we need. Let's maybe make these both a little bit longer. So we could fit a sixth person on there if we needed to. And also just we're keeping these like consistent heights, you know? Okay, let's make all this on one layer, on one text layer. Let's start adding some graphics behind it. Oops, doesn't need to be all caps. Call this text boxes. And all of this will be in its own box. With the stroke around it. Get a 2-point stroke. Here, let's lock the text layer so we're not accidentally messing with that. And this is where the magic starts to happen. And this is where it all starts to come together. I feel sorry that for people that watched at the beginning but are not going to get to see the payoff happen at the end. This is like the best part. For me, at least. I don't know why, for me, this is just extremely satisfying to do. To watch it all come together. And I'm seeing, well, let's do the quarterback box actually first. Just so we have a good grasp on, you know, exactly how much space this is all going to take up. And then we can start to think about how we want to lay it out in just a second. Put that kind of like over here. Yeah, I wonder if I wonder if it makes sense to kind of go like this. Bring that over here for now. Let's try doing like these guys up top. And then these guys below them. And then these guys over here. And then let's make a box for this. Box for the finders. Something like that. bring the bottom up just a little bit. Something like that. It would be satisfying if these boxes were the same width. So let's maybe just artificially extend it over, even though it doesn't need that much space. Let's just line them up. And then you would also think that these boxes could probably be the same width, even though, again, this one doesn't need that much space. Let's move the quarterback down. Could quarterback fit here? Oh, he could almost fit right there. Oh. But he can't. That's fine. I'm kind of thinking that we could put a cool, like, thematic image almost right in here somewhere. Let's make the team name quite a bit bigger too. Let's maybe take that up to 36 size font. Could make it italic too. Let's go ultra expanded black italic. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Minus 50. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? Let's do black stroke, white fill. Pump it up to 2-point stroke. Very nice. Okay, now we can start thinking about some color splashes. Let's call this BG for background. And let's grab polygon tool. We want a 3-sided polygon, which is to say a triangle. And let's get our direct selection tool and just grab this. Yeah, grab that vertice. Drag it all the way down to this corner here. Drag this vertice, bring it all the way up to this corner here. And drag this vertice, bring it all the way down to this corner here. Okay, guys ready for how clean this is about to look? When I hit it with the fill, red. Let's make a better red than that. Let's get rid of that cyan and drop the yellow down just a little bit. Yeah, we can come in and grab this and actually bring this vertice down just a little bit too. Doesn't need to be right on the edge. Maybe something like that. Oh wait, I grabbed the whole thing. Just this one vertice. See what it looks like to put a little splash at the top too, a little bar across the top. Maybe lower it a little bit so it's not right on the... Oh yeah, I do like a nice racing stripe. Let's add a secondary stripe below it. Should feel very Play Games. It's sort of a motif that I like to echo across a lot of the Play Games Designs is this sort of double thick thin stripe. Let's go see if we can find a quick football image to use. Let me log into Vector Stock real quick. Let's just get like a nice silhouette. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Kind of like this. Ooh, oh, okay, okay, okay. These are kind of nice, actually. Wait, actually, I don't want to lose all those. Let's new tab this. Download it for 1 credit. What a steal. And then let's bring that. Minimize that. Gotta navigate to it. Let me just cut that. Sorry, I'm doing all my work off screen right now. You guys will be clued back in here in just a second. Let's go find our new second season folder. Extract all that stuff. Delete that. Rename the folder football guy 1. Get into the Illustrator file here. Can open up a third application. Oh man, I can hear my computer whirring over there. I'm afraid I might be working it a little too hard. Streaming and having Blender and InDesign and Illustrator all open at the same time. Kind of a big ask. Can't be too mad at it here. Just wanted to shift that to black is all I wanted to do here. And then export it as a PNG. Nice big wide PNG. We'll leave InDesign open in case we want to come back in here. But now on this layer, let's grab our guy. Make a nice frame. Drop him in there. Size him to fit. You almost want some opacity to these boxes. So you can see, let's lock everything except for these boxes. And then let's give them, so what I want to do is, let's actually turn the background off for these. Well, no, leave the background on, turn the stroke off. Set this opacity to like 90%. Should be enough so you can still see through it, but all of the black lettering is still very clear. And let's copy and paste in place all of those boxes and turn off the fill, and now turn the stroke back on. And we do this only because we don't want the stroke to have any opacity to it. So doing it this way lets us control them individually. And now we can relock that layer, get back on our background layer, start messing with this guy again. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool, right? Let's just make this the whole page and then kind of mess with this guy individually. Scale him up a little bit. Just, play around with all the different ways we could manipulate this. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? Feel like we're starting to get somewhere. Again, this is not the final image, obviously, but just sort of a sample of what direction we could go with this. Could also see maybe maybe we go like this. Bring all this down a little bit. And then grab our guy here and drag him up a little bit. Is that any better? I don't know. I kind of liked it more before. I'm not sure why. Interesting. Interesting. Much to consider. Much to consider. Yeah. I think. I mean, we haven't even begun to mess around with the idea of like, what if the card was a different size? What kind of opportunities does that open up? What if we had like an illustration? What if we wanted to put like an illustration block on the card? That could be cool. Yeah, I mean, I like this. I think I like this. So, I mean, you just imagine this, and then you put it next to this. That's what this card looks like. Whew. Pretty cool looking product that we're starting to put together here, guys. Pretty cool stuff. Okay, I think that's probably going to do it for me for today. Starting to lose a little bit of steam here. But, yeah, just to recap, I mean, there's first pass at a team card. Pass, that's a football joke, by the way, for anybody paying attention. And here's what a board could maybe look like. We got these like grooved tracks to it, sort of a la what's the game called? Duel for Middle Earth, Lord of the Rings, Duel for Middle Earth. Anyways, we got some cool stuff cooking here, guys. I'm going to let this marinate for a little bit overnight, come back to it tomorrow, maybe do a little more work. Thursday, tomorrow's Thursday, by the way. Tomorrow's Thursday. I'm streaming from Play HQ. I'm going to be streaming gameplay. Hopefully Keith has the Super Bowl teams finished so that I can play those. If not, certainly we'll have those ready for Friday. So, that's the plan for tomorrow. If you enjoyed today, be sure to tune in again, same time. Well, not the same time. I'm going to be streaming a little earlier tomorrow just because we also have the PlaySpace stream in the evening as well. Why don't I swap out over to the face cam while I kind of close this out here. That's what we're doing, by the way. We're closing it out. Yeah, that's the plan for tomorrow. Play stream in the evening. I'll be streaming from Play HQ in the afternoon. And yeah, that's what it is, guys. Hope you're looking forward to it. I've had a ton of fun streaming today. I think this was all good, productive work that we got done. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in for it. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. So yeah, until next time, take it easy. Have a good night. Enjoy your evening, or whenever you're watching this. Maybe you're on YouTube watching the VOD. Hey, speaking of, if you're on YouTube, if you're on YouTube watching the VOD, go ahead and click that like button. It doesn't cost you anything. Doesn't do anything for you. It's just the free way to make Sam a little bit happier, just by clicking that like button for me. So thank you so much, and I'll see you all again real soon. Take care. Bye bye. Bye bye.